Chapter 9, 2 Samuel. Now David said, "Is there still anyone who is left in the house of Saul, that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake. And there was a servant in the house of Saul whose name was Ziba. And so they called him to David. The king said to him, "Are you Ziba?" And he said, "At your service." And then the king said, "Is there not still someone of the house of Saul to whom I may show the kindness of God?" Did you see the shift? In verse 1 he said that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake. In verse 3 he says that I may show him the kindness of God. And Ziba said to the king, "There is still a son of Jonathan who is lame in his feet." And so the king said, "Where is he?" And Ziba said to the king, "Indeed, he is in the house of Micaiah, the son of Amiel, in Lodabar." And then King David sent and brought him out of the house of Micaiah, the son of Amiel, from Lodabar. And when Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, had come to David, he fell on his face and prostrated himself. And David said, "Mephibosheth?" And he said, "Here is your servant." And David said to him, "Do not fear, for I will surely show you kindness for Jonathan your father's sake, and I will restore to you all the land that Saul your grandfather, that ye shall eat bread at my table continually." And he bowed himself and said, "What is your servant that you should look upon such a dead dog as I?" And the king called to Ziba, Saul's servant, and said to him, "I have given to your master's son all that belonged to Saul and to all his house. You therefore and your sons and your servants shall work the land for him, and you shall bring in the harvest, that your son's master may have food to eat. But Mephibosheth and your master's son shall eat bread at my table always." Now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. And then Ziba said to the king, "According to all that my lord the king has commanded his servant, so will your servant do. As for Mephibosheth," said the king, "he shall eat at my table like one of the king's sons." Man, this is a strange story, because you see, usually when a king comes into power, he comes to the throne, and everybody from the former dynasty, from the former monarch, is killed, is slaughtered. And such would be the case, you would think here, because Saul, who had been king, he had sought and pursued to kill David time and time and time again. But here David says, "I want to show kindness. I want to show the kindness of God to this woman." There's three main characters in this story. You've already seen them. You've seen, first off, David. He's the king. He is king of Israel. Then you find Mephibosheth, who is the son of Jonathan, Saul's son. And then we find Ziba, who is the servant both of Saul and the servant now of David. But to understand what's happening here in chapter 9, you've got to go back to the previous chapters, especially 8 and some others. Because in those chapters, David, he is experiencing the blessing of God greatly upon his life. And he is experiencing victory after victory. He's been given exploit after exploit. He's been given land upon land. He's been given harvest upon harvest. And he is stopping and reflecting, and he's remembering and giving praise to the goodness and to the glory of God. Now this is the same God that he's praising, who allowed him to be pursued by Saul, who allowed his life to be in danger many, many times, who allowed him to live on the run, hiding out in caves, hiding out, trying to just keep his life together. Now he's looking at the same God saying, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you for your good." It does us a good thing when we stop and we look and we say how blessed we are, and how God has made a provision for us, and how God is taking care of us. It does us good, friends, that we will stop and remember the mighty acts of God. Remember his mercy. Remember his grace. Remember how he's moved in our life. That's what David's doing. When was the last time you stopped and you just took a spell for a while and said, "God, thank you for what you've done for me. Thank you for how you provided for me. I didn't know how I was going to rub two nickels together, but God, you made a way for me. I didn't know how I was going to see my way through this physical condition, but you made a way for me. Thank you, Father, for how you poured out upon my life." And it's not always been easy, and I've not always had a smile on my face, but you're a good, good God, and you're a gracious God. And God, I want what you got inside of me to show forth to somebody else who's not deserving, because I wasn't deserving. So David is giving praise to God, and he's remembering the mighty acts of God. And he comes here to chapter 9, verse 1, and he says, "Is there anyone left of Saul that I can be nice to? Is there anyone from Saul that I can show forth the goodness of God. One commentator said this is an Old Testament story with New Testament grace all over. Isn't that good? Because he's showing us what's happening. See, it's an amazing story of the cripple and the king. It's an amazing story how God took the broken and he blessed that broken individual in spite of himself. It's a story where God says the main character is Mephibosheth, and the main character is somebody who's not deserving, and the main character who's got a life that's messed up, and the main character, he's got an ugly problem, and the main character, he's hiding out. Why? Because he was dropped as a child. You know what it means to be dropped? You know what it means to entrust your life to somebody else when you are utterly dependent upon them, and that person in a moment of fear, they dropped you, and because they dropped you, and it may have been years ago or it may have been yesterday, they dropped you, and it's caused you pain, and it dropped you, and it's caused you hurt, and they dropped you, and it's brought brokenness into your very own life, and because you were dropped, you don't know how to relate to other people, you don't know how to talk right to other people, you don't have a comfort level like many people have, and many people experience. You're living with hurt, you're living with a wound, you're living in brokenness. Why? Because somebody dropped you. And everybody in this room, we may have been dropped. We've got somebody in our family history who have been dropped, and their life is a mess. And their life is empty. That's what's going on with Mephibosheth. And David says, because of Jonathan, who was my best friend, because of Jonathan, I want to show forth the kindness of God to this one person. Now, Mephibosheth, he's hiding out because he knows that if he's discovered he's in the last monarchy, that the king, the new king, is liable to torture him. He knows that the new king is liable to imprison him. He knows that the new king is liable to exterminate, to kill him. And so he's hiding out below the bar. You ever get out from God? Some people hide out in plain sight. They still come to church, but they're hiding from God. They've got walls built up. They've got things going on whereby they don't let anything penetrate because they don't want to deal with their stuff. They don't want to deal with their issues. Are you hiding out somewhere today? Let me show you some things in this passage. First off, look at the condition that Mephibosheth was in. He was dropped. He was lame in both of his feet. He did not have mobility. He did not have the capability to walk and move. He was in a moment of utter dependency, and somebody who he trusted, someone, now dropped him, and now he does not function correctly. He does not act correctly. And maybe that's what's going on with your life. Maybe as a child you were abandoned, and you've never quite gotten over it. You've never come to terms. You don't know how to react to it because you were abandoned as a child. You were an innocent child and abandoned. Maybe your spouse walked out on you and just left you high and dry, and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to act. Maybe when you were in the arms of someone you trusted, someone you utterly depended on, maybe in a moment they dropped you, but now you find yourself crippled emotionally. You find yourself crippled up physically. You find yourself in a situation that you couldn't help. You were dropped by somebody. That's what's going on with Mephibosheth. He was dropped by somebody else, and now he can't relate to everybody. He's in a mess. And he's hiding out in the load bar. And then he signs Ziba. Ziba is the servant of Saul, now the servant of David. And David, he summons Ziba to the palace, and he says, does Jonathan have any sons left? And Mephibosheth, he steps up, and as he comes into the palace, he's asked this question. He said, yes, there's one young man, and his name is Mephibosheth, but he's lame in both his feet. Now, what to be saying is, he's no threat to you, David. He can't pursue you. He can't attack you. Just ignore him. Or Ziba, he could be saying, David, he just ain't worth much. He's not worth your attention. He's not worth your time. He's not worth your effort. He's not worth spending your energy on. He doesn't count, David. He was dropped. David, don't worry about Mephibosheth. He's broken and he's disconnected. And maybe some somebody in this room, that's how you feel. You feel like you are broken, and you feel like you're disconnected from everybody around you. And you feel inside yourself like you are dying, and you're suffocated, and nobody understands what's transpiring. And that's what the enemy wants. The enemy always wants to sit on your shoulder and my shoulder and say, you really don't count. You really don't matter. Nobody cares that much for you. But the devil is a liar. Because hear me, holy God, the King of glory, he's looking your way. He's looking towards you. And he said, is there anyone left? Ziba was saying, King, don't waste your time. King, don't waste the effort. King, don't waste the energy. He's disqualified. You ever felt like you're disqualified? What does that mean? It means you didn't make the cut. It means you don't measure up and you're not good enough. It means you're not one that's going to be picked. And all of a sudden the king, he looked at Ziba and he said, that's not the question I asked. Aren't you glad that's not the question he asked? Because God is not looking for those who are fit, and God is not looking for those who have it all together. God is not looking for the good looking and the perfect and people who seem to have everything going on. He said, is there yet anyone that I can show the kindness of God to? Aren't you glad God looks for the hurting and God looks for the poor? Aren't you glad, because that includes you and me? He said, I came to seek and save sinners. And you need to understand something. Most people don't ever come to grips that they're a sinner in America. Most people think they're pretty good. They measure themselves by somebody else. They think I'm doing all right. And they never come to grips that I'm a sinner, utterly outside of God's realm of grace right now. I'm not walking with God. They think I'm all right. I'm pretty good. God's going to accept me in the end because I've done the best I can. Hear me, guys. God didn't come looking for somebody who's doing the best he can. He's looking for somebody who's in that mud and muck and mire of sin, whereby he can extend his mercy, he can extend his grace, and he can save your soul to the uttermost. Aren't you glad God came looking for you? I'm glad he came looking for me when I wasn't worthy, when I wasn't deserving. He's still looking, because you see, here with Moses, he feels like he's disqualified. He feels like he's disconnected. He's dying on the inside. Why? Because he was dropped, and he never got over it. What's going back in your mind right now where you were like, I've never really got over that? I've never come to grips with it because that has affected everything about my life, how I act. And yet God is looking your way and saying, I want to bring you into my family. Moses was dropped by his nurse when he was 5 years old. In a moment of fear, in a moment of panic, she dropped him. His daddy Jonathan is dead. His granddaddy Saul is dead. Nobody to take care of him. He's disconnected from everybody. He feels overwhelmed. Do you feel overwhelmed oftentimes in life? Do you feel like you just don't have enough to meet, to manage, to face the challenges that are coming at you? I wonder how many people right here today in this very room, they feel disqualified. They feel disconnected. They feel like they're dying on the inside. God says, I've got a place for you at my table. God says, I'm looking your way. I've got a place for you in my family. That's good news. Because God even goes to Lord. And then you see the concern of the king here. You see the condition of Mephibosheth. He's in a mess. He's got an ugly problem. He's lame in both feet. He's twisted. Aren't you glad God comes looking for those who've got an ugly situation? Aren't you glad God comes looking for those who don't have it all together? Who knows what sin is? David didn't ask, is there somebody worthy I can bless? David didn't ask, is there somebody good looking I can bless? David didn't ask, is there somebody who's got it all together that I can bless? That was not the question. It was not based on your merit. It was not based on your works. God said, whosoever will call upon the name of the Lord Jesus Christ shall be saved. If you will confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, thou shalt be. Aren't you glad God came looking for the whosoever will? And that includes you, and that includes me, as Romans 10 tells us. That's the good news of the gospel. Jesus Christ comes looking for the broken. He comes looking for the lame. He comes looking for those who know are sinners. And he's come to say, and God said the king said to Ziba, he said, go fetch him, go get him, go bring him. Do you remember when the Holy Spirit of God came to fetch you? Do you remember when he started knocking on your heart's door and he started showing you who you were, the ugliness of your sin, how you weren't all that you thought you were? Do you remember when he started stirring inside you conviction and you find yourself weeping on the inside, maybe weeping on the outside, and you're hanging up saying, I can't make it, I can't do it, and the devil's whispering on your shoulder saying, oh, you'll never hold out, oh, you'll never do Debar means no pasture or no stock. So Lo-debar means it's the land of no nourishment. It's the land of no pasture. It's the land of no hope. It's a barren place. It's a dry place. And Mephibosheth, he's taken up residence in Lo-debar. Some of you, you've taken up residence in Lo-debar. You're living in a dry and barren place. You're living in a place where there is no illumination of the Word of God. You're living in a place where there is no Word of God to nourish. You're living in a place where there is no enlightenment. You're living in a place of silence. You're living in a place and you're dying because you're not getting the nourishment that God says you have to have. It's a place that's hard. It's a place that's barren. You don't want to talk about where you're living. You show up at church. You put on your Christian mask. You say the Christian colloquialism. You say, oh, bless God. Oh, amen. Oh, thank you for praying for me. But on the inside, you're saying, don't talk to me about my problem. Don't talk to me about my twisted feet. Don't talk to me about my ugly mess. Don't let me have to bring up the conversation. We know how to get by playing the game, acting the part, but we're lying. And we're living in Lo-debar, a place where there is no Word of God, a place where there is no pasture. And here comes the king looking your way. He's looking for those who are in pain. He's looking for those who are hurting. He's looking for those who are in a mess. And he says, you need to know I'm looking your way. And when you can't come to me, I'm coming for you. Ooh, that's good word, isn't it? When you can't get to him, he comes looking for you. But the devil says, oh, no, you're not worthy. Look at all these people. They even smell good. They not only look good, they not only dress good, they don't have dirt underneath their fingernails. They smell good also. But look at you. You know what? You're not like all these other folks. You're just pretending. You don't have enough going on. That's what the devil, he's a liar, and he tries to reinforce. But here God says, I've got a place for you at my table of grace if you'll come. But you got to come. You got to come. And when the king finds you, he draws you into himself like that sheep that's gone astray. But you got to stop running. You got to stop building and playing the game. You got to stop hiding. Listen, Mephibosheth chose to live away from the king. He chose to live in Lo-debar. Why? He had a misconception about the king. He thought the king might imprison him. He thought the king might torture him, might kill him. He thought the king might kick him to the curb. And we've got so many people that had a misconception about Almighty God, our king, because he's not interested in kicking you to the curb. He's interested in bringing you to the table of grace and bringing you into his family. Mephibosheth made a choice to live in Lo-debar. He thought nobody's going to find me there. And we live in a generation, guys, that they're hiding out. They're hiding. They hide behind computer screens, don't they? They hide behind their stuff. They hide behind social media. And they're hiding out. But guys, you're not getting answers for life from Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or YouTube. You're only going to get answers from life from the giver of life, Holy God himself. And people, they hide out in plain sight, and they live in a Lo-debar, and they don't want anybody coming talking to them. They don't want anybody coming witness to them. They don't want anybody pointing out anything in their life. And yet God Almighty, he sends the Holy Ghost down your life's path, and he comes in and he starts squeezing your heart, and he starts showing you what's going on inside you. And you got to choose, I'm going to be living in Lo-debar, or I'm going to leave this place. And there's a knock on your heart's door, just like there was a knock on Mephibosheth's door. And Mephibosheth said, who's that? Who knows I'm here? And all of a sudden he said, who's at the door? And he said, Ziba, servant of the king. And Mephibosheth goes, I've been found out. And maybe you're sitting here today and you're thinking, I've been found out. Maybe you're sitting here today and maybe you think I've been realized. And all of a sudden God's knocking on your heart's door by the Holy Spirit, and he's drawing you. Guys, that's a blessing. That's a gift he's extending to you. Mephibosheth says, why would the king be looking for me? And Ziba said, you're supposed to come back to me, to the palace. You're supposed to, I'm to bring you to the king. And you know what goes on in his mind? Fear. What do you think David said to him when he first met him and he's on his face? He said, don't fear, Mephibosheth. Because he said that the king is going to exile me even further. The king is going to imprison me. The king is going to torture me. The king is going to kill me. But they brought him to the king. And here they He took me out of that land of no pasture, that land of no stock, that land of no word. And maybe right now somebody's knocking on your heart's door. I don't know. Maybe the Holy Ghost is knocking right now and he's squeezing your heart and you're sensing that convicting power of that. Man, that's a good place to be. Even though you feel miserable at the moment, that's a blessed place to be because God's still working. God's still extending grace. God's still coming. And God's still reaching out to you. The king's concerned about you. So you see, Mephibosheth, he had a terrible condition, and then you see the concern of the king. But look at the calling to the king's table. Here's Mephibosheth, he's lying there on the floor, and he looks around this beautiful place, and he's got that ugly problem. He looks around, and he's not wearing the right clothes. He doesn't seem to fit in with everybody else. He's still got dirt underneath his fingernails. He doesn't seem to fit in with everybody else, but he's in the place where God has brought him to. It's not because of his merit, because all his past and all his heritage is a shameful thing. He comes there to the palace because the king beckoned for him to come, and God's beckoning for some of you. He said, come, you that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. He says, come to my fountain and drink. Plunge beneath the blood of Christ, and I will wash you and I will cleanse you. You may not look the part, and you may not think he should be there, but God has called him, and he's in the right place. And he's not going home now, not going back to Lodabar now. He's not going where he came from. Why? Because the king called him and brought him into his presence. Do you remember the day the king called you and came forth and he brought you into his presence? Do you remember the day when that Holy Ghost spoke to your heart and you came just as you are in your sin, not denying, not hiding anything else? Said, oh, Jesus, forgive me, wash me, cleanse me, set my feet upon the rock, establish my goings, my coming in and my going. Oh, Father God, work that work of grace. Do you remember that when you were a sinner and God, he born you, not that you made a profession of faith, not that you joined the church, but the day you got saved, the other was amen. You remember that? You ought to. And here's Mephibosheth, who's in a beautiful place with a little problem, but he's there. And then the dinner bell rings. Dinner bell's going to be ringing for some of you on just a few minutes, right? The dinner bell's going to be ringing. Mephibosheth he's got over here out of the way, and he starts to walk looking. And here comes Amnon, son of David. He's walking proper and right. He's dressed in his royal garb. He's a prince. He's a witty guy. But he's a deceiver. But when the bell rang, he came to the table. And then there comes in Joab, one of David's defenders, one of his soldiers. He's tan, his shoulders are square, his jaw is set, his eyes are ever searching. He walks in that room with confidence. His sword is in his belt, and he looks at everybody in the place. He sees every servant. He looks to see if there's a bump under the robe where they might be hiding a weapon. He watches every door. Why? He is a military man, and he is prepared to defend the king to the very end, to give his life for the king. And then Abishai showed up. Abishai, he got David out of more problems when he was fleeing from Saul than anybody else, I believe. He took people's lives. He said, let me go cut that dog's head off, and David would restrain him. But he was a combat veteran. He was worthy of knowing what it means to fight the good fight. And there he's in that place. He's got confidence, and he seems relaxed, but he knows exactly what's going on, who's at every door, where everybody's supposed to be. He walked in, and everybody acknowledged that was Abishai. And then we find this really, really good-looking guy who's got it all going on. His name was Absalom. He comes in, and Absalom, he is a charmer. He charmed all the hearts of the men of Israel and stole away the kingdom for a time from David. He comes to the table this day. And then you have Tamar, that beautiful virgin, pure on the inside and outside. She comes in there and she sits down at that table, and everybody acknowledges Tamar. And then his wives come in, and then the other military leaders come in. Zadok the priest comes in. Ahimelech comes in. His advisor. They all come in and they take their seat. And then here comes one, and he's carrying a scroll or two underneath his arm. And that's Solomon. Solomon, he's a bookworm. He's always reading. He's always studying. And it's a lucky they got him out of the library. He comes in. He's written 1,000 proverbs. He comes in and he sits there, and everybody's looking around, and all the people are seated at the king's table. And then they hear this awful racket. They hear this dragging, this clicking. Then they hear this movement taking place. And all the twisted. He's broken. Why? Because he got dropped as a kid. He's getting there, though. He's struggling, and he gets there to that chair, and he throws that one arm up, and he grabs that back, and he throws that other arm up, and he grabs that back, and he takes everything in it, and he pulls that twisted body out to the king's chair, and he sits down at the king's table. Woo! Glad God comes looking for broken people. Aren't you glad God said, I've got a table of grace that's prepared for you? And as he looks around, he may not be touching the ground with his feet. His feet may be banging, but he's there. And here's what his mind is saying. I don't look the part. I don't fit in with all these other people, but the king has beckoned me. Here, you may not look the part, and you may not fit in with everybody, but the king comes calling. You better start dragging your twisted body there to the altar. You better say, God, whatever it takes, I'm coming. If my mama don't come, I'm still coming. If my daddy don't come, I'm still coming. If my wife or husband don't come, I'm still coming. If my kids won't come, I'm still coming. Why? Because there's a table of grace that says, and God has called me in a prepared place for a prepared people. And God said, come, I'm begging you, come. And he gets there, and he looks at that table, and the bounty that's set on top of that table, there's kindness on that table. There's restoration on that table. There's forgiveness on that table. There's cleansing on that table. There's a hope and a future on that table. There's prosperity on that table. There's acceptance on that table. Why would you not come? Well, I like Logan, pretty good preacher. Where there's no word, there's no nourishment, there's no stock, there's no pasture. I like hiding out, living in fear all the time that I'm going to get found out. I kind of like living down there where there's nothing. Oh, you may not have your clean fingernails, and you may not know all the right words. When God bids you come, you better come. Because he said, I'm bidding you to come to my table of grace and meet me. I'm bidding you to come and become a part of my family. Not now, you're living in the bar. Because the king is looking your way. He's looking and he's extending his hand of mercy one more time. He said, I want to give you pardon. I want to give you peace. I want to give you a promotion. I want to give you a great big portion of what I can bestow upon you. Is there anybody glad God came looking for you? Amen. Is anybody glad God comes looking for the cripple? Is anybody glad the cripple met the king and God took the cripple and he blessed him? He took that broken man and he blessed him. He did not change that situation per se, but he blessed him and he set him at his table. So what's God saying to you? Where are you living? Are you hiding? When you got to the door, you put on that mask, pleasant Christianity. But you feel so disconnected, disqualified, you know I didn't die. Man, there's a place at the table of grace. Bow your head and close your eyes. You see, Mephibosheth chose where he lived. You choose. And today he says, I want to offer you a fountain filled with blood. Drawn from Daniel's veins. And sinners plunge beneath that flood lose all their beautiful stain. Won't you come? Today he says, I've got a table set with pardon. I've got a table set with peace. I've got a table set with restoration. You got to come. And just like Miss Bo said, you prostrate yourself before the king and say, here I am. Just as I am. So what's God saying? Maybe you're saved, but maybe you're in a mess. And God is saying, you got to come to me. Won't you come? Fathers, we bow this morning. Lord, there's people looking the part, but God, they're inside, they're just all disconnected. There's people, Father, with stuff and junk that they hide with. But God, you've come looking for them today. Father, I pray you search them. Search me. And let us yield to you. Let us lead because God has room